To survive Hanoi, you can't fight the current. You have to step into it. On the surface, it's a million engines burning at once. In hidden cafes, cups clink, steam curls, breath slows, engines braid together, scooters flow like a single river. A lone drip counts time while traffic hushes away. But the true heartbeat of the city is hiding just out of sight, down alleys too narrow for a map. Wind chimes mark the breeze, a tiny metronome of calm. Fabric breathes at the doorway. The city murmurs outside. Inside, the fan hums. Conversation softens. Light pools like tea. Coffee swirls, spoon tapping lightly, warmth rising toward me. Back in the alley, a chime returns, steady and kind. Footsteps fade under plastic strips. Everything narrows to hush. One drop, then stillness. Hanoi wakes in a shimmer of rain and engines. In narrow shafts, life hums between brick and breeze. Space is a luxury here. Corridors double as kitchens, stories drifting like steam. So Hanoi built up. Doorways frame evenings where families gather and pause. These are the tube houses. Light cages glow, guiding footsteps up and up, behind a storefront that's only 3 meters wide. Behind thin walls, dinners speak a shared language. Lies a labyrinth. Rooms are small, but routines stretch to fit, of generations living on top of one another. Little rituals stitch neighbors into one tall home, reaching for the sky. Skylights pour warmth, turning shafts into soft lungs. At the table, quiet comfort seasons every bowl. A doorway reveals lives layered like wooden stairs. Balconies become gardens, incense drifting to the street. Courtyards hold echoes. Sparrows measure moving time. Rust and clay remember hands that shaped them. Laughter overlaps, weaving a canopy of voices. Greetings pass like notes between concrete pages. Vendors call upward. Ropes
Hanoi keeps its treasures tucked behind ordinary doors. Rain threads the alleys as a silk shop blinks with neon, and a narrow stairwell asks if I'm serious. Step by careful step, I climb through shadow and steam, following the smell of sugar and roast. At the top, a wooden door gives a small sigh, and the room exhales warm light. This is the kind of place that measures time in kettles and whisk marks, not minutes. Coffee grounds bloom under hot water, slow and patient, like the city waking after rain. Egg yolk, milk, and a hush of vanilla meet the whisk. The bowl brightens to velvet gold. The rhythm builds, tap, circle, lift, until the cream stands with a soft shine. A cup waits, dark and steady. The golden ribbon lands, drifting into a soft crown. The spoon draws a path through the foam, releasing warmth that tastes like caramel dusk. Outside, rain writes faster on the pavement. Inside, the room settles into amber. First sip, sweet at the surface, deep below. Like a secret taught in 2 sentences. It isn't about finding a cafe. It's about being invited to linger. When I finally stand to leave, the gatekeeper nods toward the stairs I climbed, and the city feels less guarded. In Hanoi, some doors open you.
The street is the living room of Vietnam. You don't need a salon when you have a brick wall, a cracked mirror, and 50 years of experience with a straight razor.
Designed in Paris, but beaten by war and time, the Long Bien Bridge is the rusted spine of the city. At 4 a.m., while the tourists sleep, the working class takes over. Condensation beads on steel, red taillights bloom through haze above the brown river. Deep shadows carve geometric frames across the truss, a monsoon cinematic lattice of iron. Shallow focus macro. Yellow rust and charcoal patina map decades of weather and war. Headlights slice incense-like smoke. Damp asphalt mirrors their halos in soft halation. Blue hour softens the span. Droplets flick from metal against a muted river. Cyan turns amber as riders silhouette. A quiet procession crossing the waking city. A woman in non-la petals crimson blossoms. Breath clouds in the chill. Headlamp flares in fog. Water pearls on pineapple skin and bundled cargo seams. Emerald greens spark against rust. Tires hum in sync along the iron ribs. Rain dots the mirror. Beyond it, the city glows faint in damp morning air. A visor squeaks, red neon ghosts across it as breath condenses and fades. Woven fibers drink the rain. Droplets flick from twine, shining like tiny lanterns. Sparks leap. The bridge answers with a thud as river water splashes below. Warm porcelain vapor meets the chill. First orange light edges every tired beam. A distant train blooms through fog while motorbikes thread the span unbroken. Below, a wooden boat silhouettes. Shore smoke rises like kitchen incense. Girders scroll in parallax. Dew and stray sparks tick time with steady clatter. Rust-orange crates meet lime-green straps. An engine strains beneath soft lens halation. The muted sun lifts. Steel ribs glow amber against a pale sky. Textures surface. Rust, moss, and slow drip lines. History, written in minerals. A final procession threads the span. Flowers trailing as engines thin to echo. An empty moment. One red tail light fades as the music settles.
In Hanoi, the dead are still very much part of the family. On this street, artisans craft paper mansions, iPhones, and even cars. Just to burn them so their ancestors can live luxuriously in the afterlife. Away from the French Quarter lies a different kind of relic. The Khu Tập Thể, Soviet-style housing blocks that the jungle is slowly trying to swallow back. It's concrete architecture, made entirely organic by the people living in it.
Street vendors call, echoing distant.
Hanoi is a city of impossibilities. It's chaotic, yet perfectly balanced. It asks you to surrender your sense of direction, and in return, it gives you its soul.
Street vendors call, faint fading.